What's up, everyone? My name's Toby.
I'm Heidi.
And this is Crypto Tips Live. All right.
It's been a while.
Yes, we were in France, Paris, for the Ledger conference, which we will go over. And we were also just kind of doing touristy stuff around France, which is cool.
It's been a while since we've been a tourist anywhere.
Palace of Versailles and the catacombs, which was actually my favorite part.
And now you say the name of the museum.
Oh, geez, don't put me there.
Le Louvre.
Le Louvre. Gosh, I'm horrible. But I will learn a little bit of French.
I know better. It's okay.
But we went up to Chamonix and went snowboarding. Heidi went skiing for a little bit. And then we went to spend one day in Switzerland, which was beautiful, at our friend's house, who actually did my Netflix movie called Magnetic, if you want to go see it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a movie.
So what is it? Not the editor, the
director.
The director. His house was over there. So, anyways, welcome. I got some stuff to talk about really quick before we begin to let people kind of come in. All right. So some facts here. Only 4.5% of the entire world has any cryptocurrency. So we are very early still. That number will continue to grow rapidly. I mean, right when I started, there was maybe 10,000 people involved with cryptocurrencies. Now there is 4.5% of the world's population. That was in 1 decade, essentially. So pretty impressive. Okay, so we've been hearing a lot of stories about how, crypto is full of scams, scam artists. We need to have government protection, such as regulations, to come in to save the day. I'm going to go over these facts, which no government school, no government would ever tell you, or mainstream media propaganda outlet would tell you. All right, so Bank of America this is from the start of 2000, year 2000, $83,354,221,356 in fines. Those are 271 different fines that led up to $83 billion. Next up, that was Bank of America. Next up, JP Morgan Chase, $36 billion. Citigroup, $25 billion. Wells Fargo, $22 billion. Deutsche Bank, $18 billion. And the list just keeps going on to where there's about $350 billion worth of fines over the last 20 years or so. Yeah, talk about scam artists. And these are the guys, these banks own the regulators and they own Wall Street. Really interesting. Okay, next up, nearly 70% of Americans are struggling to pay grocery bills. That's according to Fox Business. Yes, I'll take some, give or take something from Fox Business, but whatever. So this is inflation. This is unemployment. The economy is horrible, whether people say it is or not. It is horrible, whether the CPI says it's 7%, 7.1% inflation. That's BS. It's way more than that. CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. That's the government inflation that you're hearing about. But what you don't know, what they won't teach you in school, is that government inflation does not include food or fuel. In what world do we not live with food or fuel that we need to buy? Exactly. So it's all BS. All right, next up, Senate banking chairman says maybe to a ban on cryptocurrency. Okay, so they say it's a security threat.
Well, yeah, they were asking the CFTC and the SEC to ban crypto, right?
That
was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is, I love hearing things like this from any type of government entity, just because it just shows how far behind their education is in this space. And the more uneducated governments are, in my opinion, the better off we are. So the less they understand, fine, let it happen, because you know what? Innovation is going to continue growing like a hockey stick, and red tape is going to stop government from creating different things to hinder the innovation that cryptocurrencies in as a whole are experiencing. So that is really good information. Next up, Twitter poll. All right, so Elon Musk, he said, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. 57% said yes.
Which is interesting. I thought everyone loved Elon Musk.
Yeah, 43% said no. So my kind of guess is that these are bots. All right, the ones that he was trying to get rid of are trying to oust him right now. So we'll see what happens. Who knows if he actually does that? And Edward Snowden actually said, I'll take payment in Bitcoin. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll take over. Fine, that's fine with me. Let's see. Last up, as a joke, kind of, Coinbase has now a lower market capitalization than Dogecoin. Yes, Dogecoin is going to be around for a long time. If you're part of the CT Club, you'll know that we had recently bought Dogecoin. That is the one meme coin that I'm going to probably stick with, other than another one that if you want to check us out. The link is down below for our CT Club, where you actually get our portfolio and our trade alerts and our market updates and all this other stuff like scam alerts and stuff. So, yep, Heidi is amazing with the scam alerts. Before BlockFi went down, telling everybody FTX went down.
That was also public information.
Sure, but I mean, we're doing the research. So there you go. I'm done.
No, you're not done. We're just getting started.
Oh, Twin Wolf. Happy birthday, buddy.
To Twin Wolf.
Twin Wolf is our moderator. Amazing.
Yeah, here in the live chat and also on our Discord. If you guys like what's happening in either the CT Club or, like, for example, here in the live stream, and you want to participate in the community even more, talking about all different types of topics in crypto, definitely check out our Discord. There's a link to the public channels down below in the video description. Highly recommend it. And thanks to Archer and to Twin Wolf for helping people out in there as well. We have a few other moderators too. Okay.
Dave D, what's up? Thomas, hello.
Everybody. Mark Dalton.
Decentralized, what's up?
Fox Coit. Susanna, she's asking if we can do a video on the new tax laws in Portugal. Yes, I'm definitely planning to have Maria on again once we know for sure, as clearly as possible, all the ins and outs of the new tax laws. I think that there's quite a few loopholes, but the basic is it has been approved, by the way. It was voted on and approved on December 2nd. So as of January 2023, basically, if you hold crypto for a year, it's tax-free once you sell it. How crypto to crypto trades are taxed if you do trades within, a year before you trade them before you've held that coin for a year. Is that a taxable event? Or if you hold it after you traded it for a year and then you go into fiat, is that a taxable event? Those are all the questions we're going to be looking into. There's not a lot of clarity, I don't think, in this law. And so,
it is I think it's going to be like 28% tax, but the EU has very similar tax percentages for crypto. So it's very similar. Like I saw one that was 25, 26, 27, 28. So
yeah, but I mean, if you're holding it for a year, it's tax free. So for those of you who have been in crypto for 2 years and you're just dollar cost averaging, this is super easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into a little bit of the news, because you guys, Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh wait, we can't see me. It's okay. Sam Bankman-Fried is begging for his life. Earlier he denied wanting to get extradited to the U.S. He wanted to stay in the Bahamas. And then it took him 4 days to realize that he actually, he wants to come back. He wants to go to the U.S. because, hold on, I'm trying to get wait.
So while Heidi does that, the Bahamian prison system is one of the worst prisons in the world. So it's filthy. There's maggots.
It's horrible.
All that stuff. So,
I mean, it's the Bahamas. It's like, he's led an extremely extravagant life.
Yeah. So he
in
was
the Bahamas, right?
Playing video games in his $20 million mansion and to eat swimming around in maggots. So, and the unfortunate thing is he can't eat the maggots like the World Economic Forum would have loved him to, because he's a vegan. So poor guy, he's got to get his, he's going to be fed by his family, or at least his family was begging for them to bring vegan meals to him.
Sorry.
Do you think he deserves vegan meals? I don't know. I don't think he. I mean, maybe, whatever. Just give him a bunch of soy. He's not going to need testosterone anymore.
Right now. Okay. Sorry. I should have had that set up before I got into it. But yeah, so basically he wants to be sent to the U.S. And what is it like? Well, basically he was denied bail, so he can't be on house arrest or whatever he wanted, even though he tried to portray himself as like not being a flight risk because he stayed in the Bahamas the whole time. But so he's in jail. He's not like in prison where it's like a set up thing. It's in jail where you're in there with everyone who's been arrested in the area very recently. It is not a pleasant thing, even if it's a white collar crime or, you know, non-violent offense like Sam is under. So he's not playing video games. That's for sure. I don't know if you said that already.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not chilling out and enjoying life with his girlfriend and a bunch of other orgy
all
people.
His other girlfriends, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took him 5 days. I wonder how long it's going to take for his case to actually go to court. It could take years. So I can't imagine. It's going to be quite a difference what he looks like as we know him now compared to what he's going to look like after being in jail for however long it takes for him to be seen in court.
I mean, it can't be that much worse, right?
Usually when it's people who have hired a fall, they have quite a change in appearance because their diet changed, their hygiene's changed. Like, no one looks good after being in jail for extended period of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy, Shaq. Okay, first off, I don't have very much respect for professional athletes. I just don't. They've really lost my respect over the past, since I've been looking at sports and watching other people look at sports.
Well, it's just as ridiculous as taking any financial advice from the mainstream media and a news anchor. You're going to take advice from a basketball player because they're notorious for being good with their money, right? They're paid like millions of dollars, and most
really
of them
nice
end
to
up
their wives
bankrupt.
and girlfriend, right?
Yeah, very happy together, responsible people usually. No, they're like, they get so much money and they live very extravagantly, and they're just paid to play their sport. So in a commercial that Shaq is saying, I was just a spokesperson. I don't actually know anything about crypto. And in fact, in September 2021, he said, like, I'm not going to get into crypto until I understand it or something. And he's basically now saying, I still don't understand it, but I'll do a commercial where in the commercial, I'm going to get paid probably millions of dollars. And I'm going to say in the commercial that he wants to make crypto accessible to everyone. And he says, I'm all in. Are you? What does that mean? I'm all in. That means that's insinuating very heavily that he personally has gone all in into crypto. Like all of his holdings are in crypto. All of his assets are in crypto. But he's saying, I actually don't know anything about crypto. I'm just a spokesperson. So it's like, where's the separation between it's actually yourself and your reputation and honesty, and what, you're just like a puppet and you'll say whatever anyone wants you to say if you're paid enough. So there has to be some kind of responsibility here.
To be fair, I'm in the surfing world, so I'm a big wave surfer. I like to tow surf Nazare. And you know what, not to throw a lot of the big wave surfers under the bus, but they will take any sponsorship whatsoever. If they pay enough money, they're like sponsor whores here. So they'll just take any type of sponsor whatsoever. And so I get it. It's an athlete for you, especially when you have all these different sponsors coming at you, especially that are paying a lot of money. You know, athletes, they're just going to take it. A lot of them don't have the moral integrity. Or
they're just desperate.
Yeah. But for instance,
I don't think Shaq's that desperate though. Is he broke?
Oh, he's filthy rich.
Exactly. So, like, why did he have to,
I mean, it's like probably an easy $500K or whatever,
Yeah. Well.
Like, I'm all in. Okay, thanks. Give me my paycheck. Pretty much it. That's like Kevin O'Leary with his $15 million that he got from FTX. He's worth about, what is he worth? About $80 billion? Yeah. Or $80 million. So Yeah, it's the same thing. You can have all the money in the world, but you still want to be a sellout. Fun.
Flurb is asking really quick. So we're going to go through a few news stories, and then we are going to get your questions from the live chat. If you guys have a question in probably about 10 minutes or so, start sending us in the comments. You can do question in all capital letters to get our attention, and then type your question. Or you can tag me at CryptoTips in the live chat and do your question. That'll get my attention. But yeah, so...
So the moral of the story is, yes, as somebody
wow.
says, Hazard USMVMC says, Tom Brady, exactly. These famous sports stars. If you're taking financial advice from a sports star, like, you might as well just burn your money. Just seriously throw it out. Yeah. That's it. That's what you get for when you listen to these celebrities or sports stars. They're sports stars. They play a good game.
You should trust them to play the sport. That's about it.
That's about it. It's like actors. They're acting.
Yeah.
So come on, guys. Like it's so simple. Yeah. There's no need for regulations. The market has regulated itself. FTX is down. The market said, "Hey, no more FTX. See you later." That's the market regulating itself. That's all we need. We don't need government involved with this.
Yeah. So next up, we're going to pivot a little bit because let's go back to where we mentioned at the start of this live stream, we were in Paris for the Ledger Open event this year. It was pretty cool. The first day was like, listen, guys, conferences aren't my favorite thing. If you ever see me at a conference and I seem shy or like stuck up or something, I'm just plain socially awkward. I love to instead just like go and absorb all the information. So the first day was basically them doing this big revealing of the new Ledger Stax hardware device. And that's what we're going to talk about. But also the second day was, I think, much more interesting for me personally because we were learning about basically a lot of things about Ledger that I didn't know. You guys, this is not sponsored whatsoever. We do have an affiliate link for Ledger in the video description. If you want to support the channel and if you haven't bought a Ledger yet, take it or leave it. You don't have to use it. But
we're not embarrassed to shill hardware wallets. That's one thing.
And one that I've used for like almost, 8 years now. So like, that's why I talk about Ledger because it's the one that I personally use. And I'm going to talk from personal experience. And there's a reason why I keep using it rather than all the other different wallets out there. Speaking of, I will say this really quick. I know I'm going all over the place. I've done an interview with Paul Pouet from Edge Wallet. That will be coming out this coming week. Also, I have a couple other hardware wallets that I want to do reviews on and unboxing and tutorials of. Bitbox and Ballet Wallet. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely, if you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe. And then those videos are coming out this week too. So, or in the coming weeks. Ledger Stax. Interesting opinions about this.
Should I go?
Okay. So they say it's the same security features as all the other Ledger hardware wallets. They use the same operating system, the same secure element chip, which is the not open source part of Ledger, the only part that isn't open source. But Ledger hasn't been hacked, the device itself. So there's something to say about that. It's been around since 2014. So it's a tried and true hardware wallet company. But what is hugely different between Stax and the Ledger Nanos is obviously the touch screen. And the CTO actually mentioned that in the first day, saying, or was it the first day or the second day? I can't remember. Anyway.
The CTO?
Yeah, the chief tech.
I think that was the first day. Okay.
He was basically saying how it could potentially be a new attack vector, which I am not a tech I can't create hardware. I'm not a coder. I don't know all the ins and outs of testing devices for security things, but I know a red flag when I hear one. And so I heard that, and obviously my ears perked up because this is a hardware device where you're going to be storing your crypto on it. And they never really addressed that for the whole rest of the conference. So for that reason, we are not going to be using Stax yet. Maybe not at all. It's just not something that we necessarily need, right?
Well, okay, so...
You want to get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So Bitcoin, why is Bitcoin so secure? Bitcoin is the most secure network in the history of the world, never been hacked. Why is that? What's the main reason for that? It's because the code is simple. That's it, guys. That's it. That's why all of these other projects are built on top of Bitcoin, right? So the simpler you have something, the harder it is to crack it. So what Heidi says is an attack vector. What does that mean?
It's a new complexity.
Exactly.
Basically.
It's something where it creates a vulnerability, for attacks. So with the Ledger Stax, I don't know if it hasn't been tested. Okay, it hasn't. Yes, they've had hacker meetups and stuff to try to crack it, right? But I don't care about that. I want to see a couple years on the road or whatever. I want to see what happens with this thing. It's kind of like if you buy a brand new Apple device and all the crap happens. They have people testing this stuff, but then when it gets out to the millions of people, that's when problems start arising, right? So we don't know what the problems are going to be. I'm going to stick with my basic ledger. It took me 2 years to finally go from the first generation ledger, which is just this one thing that had
maybe they would work.
120 kilobytes or whatever. Cabes, and then whatever, and then it finally got onto the Ledger Nano X, and that took so long for me to do. Now was this thing it's got pretty colors and different types of things, and it can potentially act as an iPod or whatever.
No.
Yeah,
it was designed
designed by the iPod, but
doesn't do music.
But it can hold pictures and stuff, and it does other things that I just don't care about. I don't need that. A hardware device for me is something that's super simple, super secure. Put it away. I don't want to show it off. That's it.
I mean, it's definitely, they're appealing, and there was a lot of attention being paid to NFTs in this conference, and the design of this specifically to show off your NFT, to help you identify your hardware wallet. If, for example, you're at a party and everyone just throws your hardware wallet on the table or something, and you can find yours in the crowd. Also, the fact that maybe, let me know what you guys think in the comments here. It's called Stax because they're magnetic and you can stick them together. So it's like a little library or whatever, and you can have them all stacked up and have the labels that you can see there in the background of the names of the ledgers and the battery level and all that. But here's the thing. Personally, the reason why I would have multiple hardware wallets is to secure different amounts of cryptocurrency separately and equally. Not so I can keep them all together in the same spot and stick them all together. I might as well just keep them all on one device. So I don't quite, it's definitely, they're trying to, appeal to the masses, which is a trend that I knew was coming, and I'm never going to be inspired by it. And so I'm going to sound salty probably, but I don't care. It's the truth of the matter. So this Ledger Stax is kind of evidence of that. It's like they're trying to be trendy, do something new. It's obviously much more directed at being used with your phone and using Ledger Live on your phone. And if you know me, I just try to keep my phone specifically separated from everything I can do with crypto, just because I don't 100% trust my phone and any backdoor that might exist on that.
Yeah, don't hold money on your phone crypto.
Yeah, so generally, we're just trying to be as analog as possible with our cryptocurrencies, and Ledger Stax it's not up our alley, basically. So
it doesn't mean it's not good.
No.
But I'm going to wait a couple years before using it because I don't understand how security in that level. I don't understand that level of encryption. I just don't, there's very few YouTubers that understand that level of encryption. So regardless. Okay. So
let's get to your comments. You guys have questions?
Trenton Paul, thank you, sir. Merry Christmas to you. All the best from Calizuela.
Where's that?
I don't know.
Sounds like California and Mexico or something.
Yeah. Probably not there.
Kelly.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the super chat.
Captain Smirk. What about Russell Okung? Yes, I actually follow him. A smart guy. He's one of those. I think he's a football player.
Yeah.
He actually has a brain, which is really rare in this professional sporting
Color me surprised.
arena. And that guy is incredible. That is a follow right there. Russell Okung. All right.
Okay, Captain Magic Maddie has a question. Any doubt about Shanghai release and the possibility to have a drawdown from there? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Thanks for your thoughts and what you bring to this community. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you appreciate it. Well, the one good thing about Shanghai is they're going to be allowing you to unstake your Ethereum. And so that is going to, I mean, other than on top of it being, of course, buy the rumor, sell the news situation, that's like any announcement. That's basically what happens. But specifically for this one, it's going to open up some sell pressure on Ethereum because people have been waiting a long time to unstake. And maybe, I don't know who is first in line, if it's exchanges or if it's people who run their own nodes and like, you know, the OG Ethereum operators are going to be getting their coins off first if that's what they want to do. But so it's not going to be everyone unstaking at the same time. There is a line to prevent a huge dump of Ethereum, but keep an eye. There might be a dip, basically. Very well could be a dip. But long term for Ethereum,
maybe.
it's definitely deflationary based on the reduced amount of supply being created through proof of stake, and then also the EIP 1559 burning transaction fees.
Here's my argument on if there's going to be a dip when it gets unlocked. So the people that were locking up their Ethereum, like me, I understood that it could be like over a year, 2 years. I don't care. Like the people that were staking their Ethereum for the most part are people that were keeping it really long term, like really long term. They're not just going to go, oh, okay, now it's time to dump, no, that's not it at all. Like they knew that ETH 2.0 was coming out. They knew it was transferring over from proof of work to proof of stake, and they were still willing to go however long. Like when I heard that, they nixed the date of being able to withdraw. I didn't care. I really didn't care. I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep it staked anyways. What's the point? Who cares? Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the type of mindset that people have that stake it in the beginning.
That's true.
And that is why I don't think it's going to be dumped like crazy. Yeah. I just don't think so. It's like Bitcoin hodlers. They're not going to dump it.
That's true. Okay. Udo ADHD, he said, why are YouTubers the ones we should take advice from?
Don't take advice from us.
And I have to agree
but do your research.
What Dave D has to say, and exactly what Toby said too. It's like, we love crypto and we love to share what we've learned in our journey. You are free to not listen to our videos, to totally make fun of us in the comments, or to maybe take a note of what we said and look it up yourself and see if you come to the same conclusions or if you agree with us or don't agree with us. I think it's really important to get a lot of perspectives and try not to be in an echo chamber, basically. So yeah, don't take my advice.
But definitely do your own research. Like
absolutely,
everything we say, hey, do your own research.
And that's the beauty of YouTube, is that there's so much free information. And in crypto, there's some bad actors. There's some people who have been around for a long time. There's people who are new and don't recognize how new they are. Maybe that's something we could do. Or I could do a video on, is like talk about people who I have found to be beneficial for me in YouTube. That's a class we did for the CT Club a couple years ago already, who we follow on Twitter and stuff. So maybe we can do like YouTubers that we like. Not sponsored, not promoting anyone that
Fine.
making them pay us to say their name or anything. But we can give you who we talk to.
Pulse Bezos says, stop hating on Shaq. Stop hating on Richard Hart. Stop being a hater. Well, you know what? I'm not hating on Richard Hart. I actually think he's a nice guy. Yeah. So
we're just not shilling your bag.
I'm not shilling his bag, but I actually met him, and he's a pleasant guy.
Pulse Bezos is mad that we're not shilling his bag.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
Oh, no.
Oh, Tartan Shark. I love your name. I know you've been a long time sub and you're always in live chat because I love your name. YouTube didn't alert me for your live AMA. That's strange. Maybe check that your little notification thing is still turned on. Sometimes YouTube turns it off for people for some reason. Anyway. We have GoPro footage of us going down the mountain.
Do we?
We haven't seen it yet, Toby.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
Watch it.
I haven't seen it yet. Whatever. Like it took about a day and a half to get actually used to it. Then my friend Matafi, who is actually going to be the DeFi part of our CT club, he took us out, and he's an excellent snowboarder. And yeah, he showed me the ropes, and that was really nice of him. So yeah, it was a lot of fun after that. It was able to go down some black diamonds and not even care. It was great.
Yeah, it's definitely a mental thing, isn't it? If you tell yourself, I was so scared to go up that chairlift.
Oh yeah, the first time I was
because
on
once
the
you
brakes
go
the
up,
whole
you
time.
have to go down, right?
Yeah, but it was really interesting being there, especially with like all of the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff happening. I didn't expect that much to actually be coming out, and that stuff has been going on for a long time, and especially with Binance as well. There's still a lot of questions up in the air about Binance. I don't know. I can't see his books, and one auditor has audited him so far. What was it? Quant? What?
Oh, Crypto Quant. But no,
Crypto
most
Quant.
recently they were saying that like they basically have a new CFO, they have a new home office location, and they sign up for a tier 1 auditor to audit everything.
Okay.
So he's trying.
Yeah, and plus, there's $6 billion worth of outflows from Binance, which is pretty incredible that he was able to just do that. So that means he could potentially have everything that he said. So good for him if that's the case. Awesome.
Yeah. Santiago Ferrari says, I've seen fun comments get deleted, so make fun of us and the comments don't seem true. If there's harsh language or sexually derogatory language, or someone is just like, just totally constantly repeating themselves over and over and over again, it's going to get flagged. Also, if you guys leave comments on our regular videos and you include a link, or you do like a cuss word or something, like YouTube's automatically going to flag it and remove it. So some people think I'm deleting comments. It's not. It's just because sometimes it can even happen if you do like 2 words with a period in between with no spaces, and it ends up as a link, and YouTube thinks it's a link. So watch your grammar.
Yeah.
Anything else? What else were we going through maybe that we were going to talk about? Did we talk about Elon already?
We did. Yeah. So, let's see who else. Thoughts on Digibyte. Appreciate your content.
Oh, you want to talk about Trump's NFT?
Well,
we got a few minutes. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Come on now.
Digibyte.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a underground community. It was around before VC investments. I mean, they have a lot to go up against now with all these huge investments and, getting eyes on your project. But when the rubber hits the road and crypto actually has to have a function and the blockchain has to be up and running 100% of the time, Digibyte can definitely have a niche and they have a lot of, at one point, 2017, there was a pretty strong community for Digibyte, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into that one in quite a while, but it's an OG, in my opinion, coin.
But thank you, Shared.
Yeah.
She's Rod.
Shirzad.
Right. CDC. Yes.
Good to have you back in the comments in the live stream.
Absolutely. Toby and Heidi, what are your thoughts on the market bottom being in? Well, start with that one. For me, I think we have bottomed, but I've said that before and I was wrong. But this time, traditionally, the market bottoms within about 550 days from the halvening, the Bitcoin halvening.
Before it, yeah.
Before it. So we are right there. And also we've just experienced the implosion of Avalanche. We had Luna, we had
Avalanche.
Avalanche, not Avalanche, the coin, Avalanche, the lending platform. what was it?
No,
Luna?
Anchor.
Anchor. I'm so sorry. So Anchor
Anchor
Protocol. It's been a long time. So
been
Anchor
7
Protocol.
months.
We've had Luna. We've had the centralized lending platforms going down like Genesis and you have Gemini now, which is in trouble potentially, and all these different things are in trouble. Binance, FTX went down. Binance had a lot of FUD. We're still almost 17,000 or 16,600. So yeah, I think we've definitely, I think we're close to a bottom, very close to a bottom. Plus sentiment is absolutely horrendous right now, which is amazing. I love seeing sentiment absolutely destroyed. And that just showed, that kind of reminds me of back in March 2020, when we bottomed, when we went from like 6,000 to 3,700 or something like that. And it just imploded and everybody's just thought, that's it, that there goes crypto, it's done with. Even when the hardest core people are like, maybe this is pretty bad, then it goes boom, went from $3,600 to $69,000 within a couple years. And that is what we are going to easily experience again. Not starting from 3,600, but 15,000, 16,000, whatever. Who cares? If you're really looking for a bottom right here and you're like, okay, maybe I can get a 5% more dip. Listen, you're not going to care when Bitcoin's at $100,000 and you didn't get that 5% that you really wanted to, and you missed the boat and you had to buy higher. Like, trust me, I've been in this space for over a decade now. I understand what it means to have to buy higher because you kind of panicked. I've seen a lot of that around me. I've never panicked out of my Bitcoin. Or Ethereum. And I never will. I've heard so much FUD throughout the ages, and, none of it has deterred me from hodling. Next up, do you think we will go lower, and by when do you think we will see the absolute bottom? I don't know when we're going to see the absolute bottom. Nobody knows that. And if they say they know that, they're lying through their teeth. Okay, so do I think we're going to see lower? I don't know. I mean, what the heck is going to bring it lower? If Binance goes down? Potentially. But it's still not going to kill crypto. Keep that in mind, because what we saw in Mt. Gox was 70 or almost 80% of all Bitcoin trading went through Mt. Gox, and then it got obliterated. This with FTX, this is like a little speed bump. This is nothing compared to Mt. Gox. When even Bitcoin was in its maturing stage as well, it didn't have huge mainstream adoption or whatever back then. So now we have, it's not going anywhere. This is the easiest bear market that has ever existed. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
You may think it's horrible, whatever. Guys, we're at 16,600. Give me a freaking break. Okay.
Yeah. Ed Carlander, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Alexander is asking, what are your thoughts on SBF potential involvement in the Luna crash? Super potential.
Huge.
I did so much stuff, but you have to ask the question, how would he benefit from that? Is it because Anchor, it wasn't a trading platform, really. People were mostly using it as a lending platform, and people were pouring into UST. FTX doesn't have their own stable coin. But maybe they were trying to, if SBF, what would be his motivation for bringing down Anchor Luna?
It's like kind of two different things. Maybe he shorted it. Who knows?
Maybe, but
who knows?
Yeah,
they did so much stuff off the book.
There's so much stuff on Twitter, like people claiming that there's like secret conversations between SBF and CZ and other, I don't know, big exchanges or other whales, and like how they're manipulating the price of crypto and trying to drop the price down. They're like, okay, guys, we're doing too much damage. You got to stop what you're doing. So, I think we know that happens anyway, obviously. Whale activity definitely manipulates the price of Bitcoin.
Maybe one of those things is that, because so many people were putting their money onto Anchor, like their stable coins, to earn that UST like 20% essentially. that took away from people putting their stable coins onto FTX. And so maybe he's like, yeah, maybe I would need to destroy this because, but who knows? That's just guessing, whatever. So who knows what happens?
Dave Marr wants to know what the little microphone you're using on your trip was. It's the Rode Go mic. I don't know if it's Rode Go 2 or something. It's the Rode Go mic. Normally when we're home, I use the lapel clip-on, but I think that the sound is actually better and clearer when I don't use the lapel mic and it's actually the device itself. And I'm holding it. So I don't know. A lot of people were distracted by that for some reason, but super easy. It records the audio on the device itself. There's also a receiver you can connect either to your camera or to your phone with an attachment. And yeah, super easy to record good sound and have it all on the phone.
It's a life hack, guys.
Yeah.
We used to do so much crap to try to put together a video over the ages, and now this is
how much time I've wasted editing.
Oh my gosh!
In the early days of the channel.
Ben one asked, Tether crash will bring it down.
It'll give a dip.
I mean, if Tether crashed, yeah, there's going to be a big dip potentially.
But
where are they going to buy it?
No.
Okay.
Here, you guys, you have to ask yourself. If Tether crashed, if you watch Tether crash right now, where would you put your money? Where would you put your crypto? Would you stay in crypto or would you exit crypto into fiat? Would you put it into Bitcoin?
Well,
would Bitcoin pump?
if it
because
crashed,
people are like, I trust Bitcoin.
If it depegged,
yeah,
then it's then you lost your money, essentially. Then where are you going to put? People probably going to trust a stable coin. So where are they going to put their money into?
Exactly.
Either fiat.
Welcome to crypto before stable coins. That did exist.
Bitcoin and Ethereum.
It did exist, and it was a volatility that made us hardened crypto investors.
But just to say, I don't expect a Tether crash because listen, I've been hearing about a Tether crash
since 2017. Okay, it's been 5 years.
Non-stop fun on Tether. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. If it happens, it happens. I don't know, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
Yeah. It's already. Do a couple more questions?
Sure. Are there any more questions?
You guys got any more questions?
Why don't you think crypto will get shut down for good? How is crypto going to be shut down for good?
Okay, you have to separate centralized. This is, another video in itself. But you have to separate centralized exchanges and blockchain and the actual cryptocurrency networks because they are separate. I know a lot of people get upset and it's evidence of crypto is achieving mass adoption. I'm seeing it in the type of people that are commenting and watching our videos that, it's there's this requirement that centralized exchanges have to exist, that crypto cannot exist or move forward without a centralized exchange. And furthermore, the exchange actually isn't an exchange, it's their wallet provider. And that is dangerous. An exchange is great for trading. It should not be expected that they can't be in business unless everyone keeps their coins on that exchange. If the exchange goes out of business because people aren't using it as a wallet provider and they're only using it for trading, then that's ridiculous. But yeah, there's Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially Ethereum, can definitely exist without a centralized exchange because Ethereum specifically has smart contracts as a smart contract built blockchain. That's why most of the decentralized exchanges with the highest trading volume are on Ethereum. Bitcoin as well. You can send Bitcoin peer-to-peer from my wallet to Toby's wallet, from my wallet to anyone's wallet in the world without an exchange, without permission, on New Year's Eve at 11:59, on Christmas Day. It doesn't matter because we're not working with the bank. Bitcoin is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And
that's the beauty of a
Thorchain,
decentralized platform.
You can now.
Yeah, you can trade native Bitcoin. You can lend native Bitcoin through a smart contract.
Okay, so Deep Random Thinker says if Bitcoin replaces fiat, then what would you compare it against to determine the value of it? As in, what would Bitcoin be worth when buying things? So it's the same thing as when you're buying anything with fiat. You're like, wow, that car costs $150,000. Wow, I wouldn't spend that money on that Bitcoin, on that car. It's the same thing. It's like the value of something compared to its price tag.
is you have to determine how much Bitcoin is worth it to you personally and what you can do with it. And is the thing you're going to trade it for worth it?
Yeah. So it's kind of like gold and silver right now.
One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin.
So gold and silver has its peg due to the London LBMA and the CME. So they're the ones that essentially put a price tag on gold and silver.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's crazy because it's a centralized entity. There's no free market in that at all. And that's why you have gold at this under the price that it was in 2011, the same as silver as well. Silver reached $50 back in 2011. Now it's what, $17? Like, that's ridiculous. And with 86% of all currency that is, or US dollars that has ever existed, were printed over the last 2 years, but silver is down since 2011 after the greatest monetary expansion the world has ever seen. It's ridiculous. But just to let you know, when going back to that question of like what would replace, if Bitcoin's going to replace fiat, it's not going to replace fiat. So what we're going into soon is a CBDC, or central bank digital currency. And that is going to be a whole new ball game that we are going to have to play, and we can't opt out of it. You can't vote for it, nothing. So that's what's going to happen. You know, you're essentially, your money is going to be linked to your social credit score, and that is what a CBDC is. And so it's really scary, but the good thing is we do have Bitcoin and we will be able to transact. But keep in mind that if you have a house or whatever, and say your government makes you pay your house property tax with CBDCs and you opt out of a CBDC, you're probably going to lose your house. And that is how the World Economic Forum goes, hey, you're going to own nothing but be happy. I was like, I kept thinking for over a year, I'm like, how are they going to essentially take our homes away? And that's what's going to happen. You know, that's probably one of the main ways that they're going to be able to take away your house, because you won't be able to pay your property tax in Bitcoin or the way you want to. Your social credit score will have to be up to par for your money to be worth anything, or for you to be able to spend any money. So anyways, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Random, but you guys, I'm very excited about what I just did yesterday. So it's flu season, right? And I'm slightly congested, but that's okay. I saw this hack and I love it, and I want to share it with you guys. You know, like those turmeric and ginger shots that are like $5 for a tiny little bottle? If you go to the grocery store and you buy ginger, turmeric, lemon, garlic, and honey, all of these are pretty inexpensive ingredients, and you have a food processor, put ginger, turmeric, all of the ingredients, lemon juice, not the whole lemon, into the food processor, and like it's like a little thick pasty kind of thing, and then pour that mixture into the ice trays and freeze it. And then and then when you want to have a little bit of nourishment and some good vitamins and minerals and stuff to help your immunity, obviously, pop out one of these cubes, put it in a glass, and pour it over some hot water, and then you have like a freaking turmeric shot. It's so nice. So that's what I've been drinking on. You guys, sorry, I had to share that.
So if anybody wants to know other than about your social credit score, CDC asks, what will they base their social credit score on? Well, I mean, it's as simple as, like, for instance, you have PayPal, right? So PayPal was going to deduct $2,500 out of your bank account if you were against the narrative, or whatever the narrative was at that time. And then, you know, there was an uproar with people like pulling their money out of PayPal and stuff. So PayPal was like, oh, hold on. We were just messing around, whatever. No. They weren't messing around. That was a test. So they need to slow that down a little bit, because once the CBDC comes out, it's not going to be directly linked to your social credit score. Okay, let's just get that through. It's going to happen over time. So you have like what you call a boiling frog scenario. So if you put a frog into like lukewarm water, it's nice and comfortable. You can slowly turn up that heat until it dies, and it won't even know it's dying. Okay, and so that's the same thing with a social credit score or a CBDC attached to your social credit score. You won't be able to, especially when you have climate lockdowns that are going to happen. You know, if you disobey your climate lockdown, you travel throughout, you know, parts of the UK have what you have 15-minute cities, so you can't leave 15 minutes outside your city or something like that. And this is this type of stuff that they are working on right now. And it's not just happening in the UK, it's happening in Spain and all other Poland, I think, and many other places that they are testing this. So yeah, very interesting stuff. And that will be linked to your CBDC bioidentity. So yeah, we're trying to get this guy named, what's his name?
I'll announce it when we have something.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Sorry.
Mo, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, I know I've asked this before. Winky face. I would love a meetup with you guys and Maria in Portugal. Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for all the lives and CT alerts. Learned so much. Really happy that we could be helpful.
Thank you, Mo.
If you're in Portugal, well, I don't know if you've like contacted Maria, or if you've been a client of hers, but sometimes every so often she organizes like a little luncheon dinner thing for the crypto people in the area.
If anybody doesn't know who Maria is, that is our lawyer here in Portugal.
You gotta check out the videos we've done with Maria.
But anyways, guys, we have gone over so much stuff. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you next Monday.
See you Monday, guys.
Bye, guys.
Noon Eastern time.
Yeah.
Bye.